Greetings everyone, my name is Raziel and today we are looking at Forgefather Deckel. Deckel is the newest Salamanders warlord, being added through an event a couple of months ago, and he has quickly risen to being the best warlord of his faction. This is due to his very versatile toolkit, being able to generate any tactic from his faction's card pool with his ability, as well as artifacts via his battle honor. These things combined make him a generally high-value warlord that is very flexible when it comes to his playstyle. Artifacts, vehicles, and general good stuff midrange are all things he is capable of playing. And good stuff midrange is what we are going to take a look at today to see if the Dragons of Nocturne still have what it takes to be a serious threat in the modern meta of HHL. Here's the list. As you can see, the focus here is on troops, primarily from the early and mid game, resulting in a fairly balanced curve. The main goal of the deck is to establish board control and win the game through making smart trades, a task that is made easier by the main traits of the Salamanders, Survivor and Sacrifice. If you have never played this faction before, Survivor is a means to cheat death on a singular occasion, allowing a troop that would have taken lethal damage to instead remain on the board with its HP being healed to its Survivor count. Do note that this cannot exceed its max HP, meaning a 2 HP troop with Survivor 5 will still just be healed to its maximum of 2 HP. Sacrifice is sort of a variant of Backlash that only triggers during your own turn, but also when the unit is saved via Survivor. Combined, these traits make establishing a board easier and also reward you for trading your units into the enemy board. Key cards in this are the Arc Squad and Disciple of the Flame, two Astartes with Survivor and the Sacrifice ability to buff your entire board. Both of these troops are fairly difficult to remove on an empty board and will then buff everything else when you trade them into the enemy board during your turn, making the other troops also hard to take out. But survivability isn't all the Salamanders have going for them. True to their flamethrower-wielding looks, they also excel at dealing AoE damage. Cards like Purging Flame, Legionary Darlock, and Hecteros Squad are all a means of taking on a wider enemy board while dealing additional chip damage to the enemy warlord in the process. Ultimately, this is a very board-centered kind of deck that is one of the purer forms of the midrange formula. We are lacking any big equalizer cards like Great Tithe, or any big lethal pushes like the Herald of Ruin combo or something like Ancient Drakos. For the most part, your lethal range is exactly what is on your board, occasionally bolstered by artifacts, of course. This results in the deck being both fairly easy to pick up, while also retaining a reasonably high ceiling for players to show off their skills when it comes to making smart trades and maneuvering into a position to win the game. That concludes the quick breakdown of the deck. If you want to read a deeper analysis on the individual card choices, as well as some alternate options, check out the deck paste in the description. While you're there, also consider joining my Discord server, the link is also in the description. That was it from me for today. Have a nice day everyone, and enjoy the games.
Shall I restore my name?
This is about victory, true victory. are legion! This is about victory! True victory! This is about victory! True victory!
Your eyes deceive you.
We are legion! You're in my sights. Position compromised. Relocating.